Okay, first of all, it's crazy that I think I ran into your short, and then I ran into those two posts with that woman saying about the Vatican looking for me, and then the very next one was I'm gonna meet a billionaire and he has rockets, you know what I mean? And it freaked me out, so I took all my I posted the first one and I said, hey guys, if someone comes looking for me um, and wants to take me out, tell them I'd like to go to Cheesecake Factory, right? And I sent the video, and then I went back and I looked at her, her homepage, and the first video I clicked, you're gonna have a billionaire. You're gonna either own a billion or you're gonna have a billionaire, and there's rockets, and that's all she said. And I wrote that down. I said, Elon, what the fuck, Elon, right? I said, Elon, what the fuck? And then I went back and I kind of got worried, right? I said, man, I get these contacts all the time. So I was thinking, what is this, right? And, it just seemed like it's like a game. Game on! Here you go. You got you got the Vatican chasing you. And I got worried. I said, yeah, I do have the secret of the universe, right? Well, everyone has it now, right? Thanks to, it's out. And if they kill me anyway, it's on the internet. And, so, I don't know. It could be Colonel Thunder, too. Colonel Thunder could be a priest. And he's been tracking me, right? And he's a good guy. So let me just show you how awesome this is, right? So maybe I saw this video first, and you're talking about how God talks to you all the time, right? And I said, yeah, I just said that. I just told on one of my videos about how God talks to us all the time, and this is God talking to me, right? So you said the same thing, and I said, great. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show everyone how you can feel God interacting with you if you do this exercise. But I'm just musing here, and my nick. But there's a hookup between me and JD, and what we have in common is we see God all the time. And I'm going to show you how you do it. I'm going to show you that if you do this long enough, you'll find it. You'll contact God, or God will contact you. And it's a strange thing you have to push out in order for God to push in, right? So God won't. Well, I guess He does show up, but if you wanna poke at God, you have to poke at Him, and He'll poke back, right? So I'll teach you this exercise. So let's just say Vance is saying,
one of the really deep beliefs I have is that there are all of these small little miracles. And if you look for them, you actually see them. Yesterday morning, I went to bed around 1 in the morning, and I woke up around 3:30 in the morning. Even the past couple of weeks, going through this vetting process for the vice presidential nomination, I still slept like a baby. But for some reason yesterday, the morning of the biggest speech of my life, I've got 2.5 hours of sleep. My kids aren't going to be up for 3 or 4 hours, so I'm bored, alone, anxious, and thoughts are racing through my head a mile a minute. After 30 minutes of trying to, count sheep, I finally just say, Jesus, please help me. That was the last thing that I remembered until 3 hours later. I'm sure that people who don't believe in God will say, oh, that's just a weird coincidence.
No, it happens all the time, right? And it's only, you will be the only one that knows it, right? Know, right? So it's always personal. So I'll teach you this method, and these are for the people that have never felt God interact with them, right? And once it happens, you'll freak out. You'll change your life. You'll change your life. But I'm going to tell you right now that we are going to come to the point where there's going to be things happening to us in a project, let's say, that seems like it's being run for us, right? You guys are going to be at at an apex of, the movement of the world, that your steps are going to be moved for you, right? So Donald Trump, in his last first term, he was saying, yeah, Bobby Knight, that'd be a great guy, because everyone likes Bobby Knight over there. And he says, he gave me his phone number, right? And he lifted up a stack of, half of papers. And right there was his phone number, right? So he had it maybe 2 years ago that he remembered getting his phone number. And he went and he looked, and that was the key to win what was one of the states there. And I pull a Bobby Knight all the time with you guys, but that kind of stuff's going to happen to you, right? So your purpose, because you're in such a high level, and we're going to go through the gauntlet, guys, and you're going to be sitting there struggling, wondering how this is going to happen, and boom, there's going to be the step that you need to go, right? So that's one of the things, I guess, to get prepared for, is that, yeah, you're not going to fail, right? You give yourself into this mission, and the mission will God will take care of you through the mission, right?
Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established.
But let's get on with it. So this is how you do it. So you have your doubts. God doesn't really talk, or you have a question that you need answered, right? And if you don't believe in a God, or if God talks to you, just show yourself to me, Lord. Show yourself to me, Lord. And go through your day with this in mind. Show yourself to me, God, like a mantra. And every time you remember it, show yourself to me, God. And then look, and then look, and then look. And as you're going through your day, something will hit you, a little ping that has your name on it, right? And you go, oh, that's a coincidence. And you say, well, did that bring God? I don't know. And then just thank it. Thank you, Lord. Show me again, Lord. And as you go through your day, you'll get another ping, maybe a radio station, and someone will say, this is God. And you go, what? And you'll think, was that a hit? Show yourself to me again, Lord. And you keep going. And as you go through this process, you'll get pings. And then bigger pings. And then there's going to be a point where it's just slapping you in the face, right? You're just going to be blown away that this, and this showed up. And there's God saying this about me, right?
Listen, man, God's on all of our side, your side, and you're the one that's going to be the catalyst to bring us forward.
Do you believe that?
Listen, man, God's on all of our side, and your side, and you're the one that's going to be the catalyst to bring us forward, man. I'm telling you.
Do you believe that?
Listen, man, God's on all of our side, and your side, and you're the one that's going to be the catalyst to bring us forward, man. I'm telling you.
Do you believe that?
Listen, man, God's on all of our side, and your side, and you're the one that's going to be the catalyst to bring us forward, man. I'm telling you.
Do you believe that?
And let's see, where was I? Yeah, he does it to you all the time. Let me get one of these that I know. Yeah, guys, this contact was really freaked me out. I mean, initially I said, yeah, that's funny. But then I started to think, yeah, I mean, that, and I get linked up with Elon, and I said, what is happening? This is one of the better, I took it off here, pinched it off you guys, but here's God working through Kanye West. Okay, so that's him getting his calling, and I was part of it because I recorded it and sent it to him, right? So I'm just watching. It's on the YouTube. I'm saying, oh, there he is. He's homeless now, right? I think he went homeless because he wants to get closer to people. So I turned it on, and I'm watching it, and I said, oh my God, he was getting his calling, right? So God was saying, you're gonna be the catalyst to bring us forward. And then, do you believe it? Do you believe it? That's what God was saying to Kanye, and he wouldn't have known it, but I sent it to him. So, when I did a reading on it, I said, hey, I'm not 100% because my ego's in it, right? Because I really wanted to do it, but I said, you're getting ready for your calling, right? You're getting taken out of the devil's system, all and on, and that you're going to get this thing going, to working together and helping each other, right? And then he says, we got to find the truth, or else we'll be loving the lie, and that's what WhisperX is, right? We got to find the truth in order to blockchain it down, right? And he said the two main components of what the system does, right? That's what I just say. We're in tune because we say the same things, and we also think alike, right? We also think through our hearts, and you'll see him when he talks. He'll relax into himself, and then he'll come out, right? So he's getting deep into his heart, and then he'll just free flow, and that's why he's so talented, because that's where organic intelligence shows up. So anyway, there's that, and I got a bunch of other stuff that happens to me all the time, where I tell these guys all the time, and I say I'm going to make a fool out of myself, but I need to tell you so you'll see it, right? So a lot of people that can't see God talking through them, they won't see it because it doesn't register, right? They'll see something, and they'll brush them. Oh, look at that, and they'll pick it up, and they won't think twice that was a message, And once you figure it out, so that's the exercise. Say to yourself, show yourself to me, God, and then walk around and look. And when you forget, say it again, look, and then you'll get pinged, and you won't believe it. You'll say, well, thank you, Lord, show me again, and keep on doing that until it hits you, right? And then you're golden. One last story. So here in Thailand, my friend, her sons were Buddhists, right? They commit some of their kids to the Buddhist temple, and they grow up as Buddhists, right? And they're the teenage ones. They're not arrogant, but they're very proud, And so I wanted to know. I said, what kind of stuff do you guys do in your meditations, right? And he says, well, we can't show our magic, And I know why, right? Because their magic is all real complicated, right? So when they're walking around, they're trying to see what the universe is telling them. They'll see a tree rustle, a dog bark, someone go get water, a car go by, and it'll all intermix into this insight that they get, right? So that's why they don't tell you their magic, because it's convoluted, right? And it's just a way of, they're using the outside to get what's inside you out, right? So if you see a car, it'll give you the impression that, oh, so-and-so rides this car, and I see this sign that says hospital, oh, he's in the hospital, and then their premonition is, oh, go see so-and-so in the hospital, right? So their tarot cards, whatever it is, are the outside. So what they do is they let themselves be impulsive with their actions, right? So guys coloring in this coloring book, and think about getting that coconut water in that stand, right? So instead of just waiting, they'd immediately get up and go to the coconut water stand. While they're going there, they're looking around to see what the universe wants them to know. So you make that practice as well, right? You get an impulse, you're hungry. Well, you just get up and go walk around, and then when you find the place, you sit, and you're looking around constantly to see how God's God wants you to see, right? So when you play those games, you start to get in tune with your Creator and the energy around us, because you believe it. It's been able to show itself to you, right? So you have to believe it, that it's here, and then it really manifests, right? So what else do I got to tell you? Yeah, so that's it. And on and on. They come without notice, right? Hidden in a low place, and that's where they are. They're hidden, and Christ first comes to them, right? And I don't know, guys. I used to think that Christ was the embodiment of the truth, right? Well, what is Jesus? What do you ask him? What are you, Jesus? I'm the way, the truth, and life. I come here for one purpose, to bear witness to the truth. He's the truth, right? So I always said, yeah, they had to put the truth in a body so it could walk around and make the stories, which the stories are E.T., off planet, telling us what we need to do, right? And I'll show you a bunch of them that are about the end times. So that's what I always thought, but I'm not so sure now. I mean, there might be a body Jesus, a body person that is living in the truth all the time, right? But they don't sit up in this throne room, right? God and Jesus are not sitting up in the throne room for 1,000 years. It's energy, right? So we figured that out. And, a bunch of other things. The Bible is awesome once you start to figure it out. I mean, once we figured out how to get to the kingdom of God, it's just like, whoa, here's all these verses that are kind of like ciphers, right? So if this cipher fits your philosophy or your theory, then it glows, right? So you get a theory, and then you sync it through all these verses, and if it passes all the verses, you go, yeah, that's a pretty sound, right? So it's awesome. I mean, it's complicated, but with the internet and YouTube, it's easy, right? You just get someone and they spend their lives doing it. Okay, so there you go. And good on you, man, because Donald Trump is big time into God, right? I mean, he wasn't at first, when he first started running, that he said, yeah, I really, I know. What verse do you use, right, when you're in trouble? He says, well, I kind of rely on myself, and and then when he was with the Christians, they're crazy. I could just tell, he was like, what the fuck's there? But now he's into it, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he's not a religious guy. He doesn't gonna spread verses on you, but he's deeply committed to God, right? He I could just see it. I could see it when he talks about it. And he probably figured it out, or found out when he was going through his first term, right? I mean, I don't know how he could stand the pressure, And I was in his first, when he first was running, I was, I said, how can he keep from not falling out, on some of these debates and stuff? But I guess I get used to it. But he's not bulletproof. He's not bulletproof, When you get a calling, you suffer, right? And it's part of your training, right? You suffer through this thing, and when you finally go to the, you pass on, you're exalted, So suffering and then being exalted are one of the same coin. So I used to say, yeah, Elon's going through it. I'm going through it. But I look at all these other guys, man, they got it made, How could they got charmed lives, but they don't, right? They just handle it better. I mean, I always thought, well, Donald Trump, he doesn't have any moments, right? But he does, right? He does. I mean, he's a human, and it made me love him even more when I saw him. When he was when he got almost got his ear shot off, he went to a convention, and he was there, and he was just like overwhelmed, man. Can you imagine that? So I'll do anything I can for him. All right, so there it is, and yeah, my life is, it's falling apart, but that's how it's supposed to be, and I'm constantly hopping on one foot because I'm living in this twilight world where I get pings all the time, right? And I stop and I look and I have to see, what is that saying, So I'm not fully grounded in you know, some sort of system. I'm looking and I'm falling like this thing. Holy cow! There's someone looking after me or looking out for me and at the Vatican. You know, how are they going to get here, right? They'll be totally obvious. So I don't know, you know. But when I saw it, I chuckled and said to myself, "This is a game, right? Like God's given me this new you know, this new thing to worry about." And I shrugged it off like no big deal, you know. If they want to take me to the Cheesecake Factory, but you know, when I see that thing with Elon Musk, right? A billionaire you're going to meet a billionaire, and he has rockets. And I said, oh, you got to be kidding me. And it was the second, I mean, the first one was the one where they're after me. The second one is the first one I clicked on her page, right? Well, let me see what this one says. Click. A billionaire. You know, there's only one billionaire that owns, well, there's Jeff Bezos, but I'm pretty close. And how did it get to be Elon, right? Like, I'm the closest to Elon out of anybody. I mean, I don't have any friends. And Elon's the guy that I said, hey, can you get a reference? I said, talk to Elon. And he barely knows me probably. But how did that name come up along with me, which I really do. I found the secret of the universe. And Elon has it. Someone over there has it. But that's what they would be looking for. How did he know that? How did he get to know that? And I'm thinking, well, what would I be knowing?
If you want to go, I'll go first. But I mean, I don't wait.
You are not going to resonate with this. Okay, this is going to sound weird to a lot of you. But the right person is going to see this and it's going to be confirmation. There is somebody that is studying you, that is watching you, that lives a continent away from you. And this person is in a very high position, all right? I'm honestly picking up the Vatican, all right? You have someone from the Vatican that has caught wind of you, that is wondering how you know what you know and why you have not been taken out yet.
There's no time to waste. Who serves the truth for heaven's sake?
Either a billionaire is going to come into your life or you're about to be a billionaire, okay? Look, this is somebody that, something about rockets, all right, and going to other planets, okay? Who knows? We're not going to get into all of that. How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up in the cash game, and the fast ain't on for real. How do you want it? How do you feel? You, my dear, okay? Let's get into this energy, okay?